Yeah, JAMB has admitted to a major system failure that compromised the integrity of the 2025 UTME examinations. A technical review conducted by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has revealed that a critical oversight in server updates coupled with human error affected the performance of students during the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation examination. 379,997 candidates will now have to retake the exam following widespread complaints of technical glitches, unusually low scores, and alleged irregularities. What went wrong? Who is responsible? And what does this mean for the future of standardized testing in Nigeria? Join us to unpack this is MD CEO Dreamheight at Global Consultant and Educationist Agaba Wilson Agaba. One welcome to you, Mr. Agaba, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
What are the implications of the JAMB registrar's admission, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, yesterday about system errors for the examination body? What do you make of his press conference?
Oh, well, first of all, I think I want to commend him for admitting the error, coming forth with it, and taking full responsibility. Also, giving information about the remedial steps the body is taking to ensure that the students who participated in the examination do not lose time, and that they are compensated. Compensated here means retaking the exam, not that they are going to give them any material thing or financial thing. But I think it's commendable that a body such highly placed is coming out to say, oh yes, we erred. We listened to your complaint, we reviewed our processes, and we saw an error. We are admitting it, and we are going to do something to remedy it. For me, that is quite commendable.
Okay, but I mean, whilst you're commending it and applauding, the Nigerians who believe that the response is maybe a little too late, because they had said that JAMB was defensive at first, and they're taking cognizance of the fact that, you know, young people, for example, there's reports of a 19-year-old Faith Imleyin who unfortunately took her life over the disappointment of failing the examination, and that if Nigerians did not come out en masse and there wasn't such a public outcry, maybe this accountability would have not, you know, taken place. Do you think that this press conference and this seeming taking of accountability suffices for the damage that has been caused so far?
It may not suffice, but better late than never, and a little something than nothing at all. And I say this from the mindset that it is very rare for institutions like that in Nigeria to own up to their errors. And you would understand that if they wanted, they could keep dragging it, keep denying that it never happened from their end, and that the student failed and all of that. And at the end of the day, they can try to hide it, and nothing much will happen. This is not, for me, a standard for a sane society anyway. But I'm saying, I'm being realistic here. This is the kind of thing we see in the country. About this time last year or so, there was an issue with a young lady who was accused of altering her JAMB result. She did say she didn't alter it. She was sworn by the press, sworn by a lot of people, and at the end of the day, it was concluded that she cheated. She took the fall. Today, we won't know whether she actually cheated or she was made to admit that she cheated, just so that JAMB could save face. So, them coming out to say, okay, we made the error, will make us now to begin to look back. If they made this error this time around, how much error have they made in the past? And what is the security of their system? What is the strength of that system? Is it prone to failure? How often do they review it? Who is in charge? And all of these things. So for me, I'm saying that it's commendable because at least they gave us something. And yes, if the people didn't complain, would they have come out? That is what I always say, even in every other sphere of our political life and social life. You have to come out and complain. If you don't complain, the person who made the error may not know that an error has been made. So coming out to complain is also commendable equally. And I think we should always come out to complain. It's an improvement for me. It's an improvement. And it's regrettable to have lost a life before this took place. My condolences and sincere sympathy to the family of the lady. And I think that our leaders can do better. You know, they don't need to be prompted by complaints or anything before you do your system audit. If each time you give out exam result, I expect that a responsible body should actually cross-check all the processes, you know, have some checklists to ensure that the results you are publishing has ticked every item on that checklist before you publish it. And now, I believe they know the far-reaching consequences of publishing a wrong result, that a life has been lost because they published a wrong report, because they didn't do their system audit properly. They didn't maintain their system as they should have done, because I tried to read the report. I didn't get the details of the error, what caused it, the scale and all of that. I couldn't get all of that. But whatever it is, I believe that when you are using ICT, you need to pay attention. You need regular check. You need proper security for it. They haven't done that. It has cost us a life. I believe they have learned from it, and I believe they will do better next time.
Now, Mr. Agaba, beyond the system glitches, the JAMB registrar also admitted to human error. My question to you is, you said, and rightly so, that JAMB has decided to compensate over 300,000 students who were affected by allowing them to retake this examinations. How much faith do you have in JAMB that when these exams are retaken, we won't have instances of system glitches and human error like we've witnessed? Is it enough? Do they have enough time to audit their systems and fix things right by the time the students go back to retake their examinations?
Well, that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw the press release. Since they didn't explain much of the technicalities around the problem, we won't be able to tell whether the problem, the scale of the problem is something they can review and amend before the exam is retaken. But if they have given this short a time, I believe it's something they may have identified and sorted out already. We may not know for sure whether the problem will repeat itself and whether it will come to a point of, okay, let's just give them marks, let's give them good grades, irrespective of what the system does, so that they can leave us and we'll have time to put it together before next year's exam. That will be bad. What we can do is to, as a public and as media, also shine light on what they are doing between now and when they are going to the exam, so that we can hold them accountable. So that's the much we can do. We cannot tell for certain that they will be able to address the issue, since they didn't tell us the details of the issue. We cannot tell for sure whether it will happen or it will not happen during the next exam. I, for one, have pointed out that JAMB should take a closer look at their system. Even, I said this some 2 or 3 years ago, when some student wrote their exam. My niece was part of them that time. They went to the computer center to check for their result. They had a certain result, and then when later they went there, the marks were increased. And then they explained that, they gave one explanation like that I can't really figure out. I would say my niece maybe didn't tell me the truth, but I heard from different other parents and children too. And if she was maybe reducing the mark or something, but the mark increased, she brought back the slip, and the mark increased by about 30 or 50 marks or so. So if these errors keep happening, then we can't trust absolutely that the next exam is going to be free of error. And you did mention human errors too. Human error occur because of the process of recruitment, the process of training, the process of evaluation and monitoring of processes within the system. And sometimes because of the problem we have in the country holistically, the square pegs are not necessarily put in the square holes. Certain things get done by connection. And people do some work because it is the only place they get money to keep life going. They are not passionate about it. So only people who are passionate about their job will go the extra mile beyond what they are paid to ensure that there's perfection in what they do. So maybe until we get to a point where we get the right people with the right passion in the right places, we may not be able to say 100% that people will do their best to ensure the best gets out.
All right, and are people right with their calls to the JAMB registrar? They're asking him to step aside, they're asking that he be suspended or that he resigns. They're also criticizing the response of the social media handler who started a tweet by saying, "Man proposes, God disposes," and then goes on to speak about a technical glitch. He said, "Man proposes, God disposes. It has been established that a technical glitch affected 157 centers out of the 887 centers in the 2025 UTME." Now, this tweet, many have said, is indicative of a lack of empathy and was done not in utmost good faith. So they're asking that the handler and the registrar both step aside. Is that calling for too much?
Well, I wouldn't say it's too much, right? But then I wouldn't say we should get the registrar to step aside now, because there's a mess and it needs to be cleaned up. It's going to take time for a new person to, understand the seat and the office before cleaning it up. So we should get the registrar on his toe to fix the issue. When the issue is fixed, or at least when this exam issue is fixed, then we can discuss whether he should stay on or not. And then the issue of the social media post. I have also been talking to people generally, and organizations that, even government organizations, that the issue of corporate communication and what you want to call strategic communication, it has changed since the emergence of social media. Before now, I need to go to a radio house before I can talk to a multiple number of people. I need to go to a TV house. I need to go to newspaper. But now, somebody can stay in their small room and post something online. Information travels faster and wider now than it used to. It means, therefore, that the corporate communication arm of every organization should be up and doing. They should be up to date. They should be scanning the news about information concerning them so that they can put clarification out there at all time. More so, people who are put in this department ought to be trained on how to respond to issues. It is not for somebody to sit down and draft it, but it's not your personal post. You have to look at the social perspective, the technical perspective, the political perspective, the diplomatic perspective. All of these things have to be put in place. In politics, they will tell you the optics. You need to look at the optics. A person have died from this mistake, and you are posting casually as if you are just responding to a post made by your friend. It is not enough. So a call for a change of that guard is in order. But beyond change, I am calling that every organization, both government and non-government, should, as a matter of urgency, retrain their corporate communication staff. They should be taught to be able to communicate in a holistic manner, considering the optics and the situation at hand. So JAMB should not take this lightly. JAMB comes to the public almost every time because they have a yearly activity to deliver to the public. They should be at the top of that game. Corporate communication, strategic communication, a robust one, robust team. They should take more training. They should simulate. They should look at all angle and practice, so that when issues like this happen, you don't just put out statements that will anger the public more.
All right, thank you very much, Agaba Wilson Agaba, for joining us this morning. We definitely will be following up with the updates we get regarding the JAMB rescheduling and what the next steps will be for these students. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We hope that the lessons have been learned. We're not quite out of the rough yet, but we'll continue to bring you updates in this regard.